Okay, everyone, welcome back. So we are on the last packet of Unit 8.8.4, where we are going to be talking about the standard form equation of a circle. This is an incredibly important equation, because you're going to see this everywhere moving forward into Algebra 2, as well as pre-calc and calculus. It is probably one of the first curved graphing components that you have been introduced to. Well, I guess parabolas you've been introduced to, but this is like a full circle. Anyway, also ACTs and SATs love these questions, and they look complicated, but they're actually incredibly simple. So let's talk about the components that create the standard form equation of a circle. So the equation reads x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Also, I'm sorry, one more thing before we continue on. Please make sure that the sound is on for these videos. I know a lot of you watch them on mute. It's not going to serve you. It's not going to help you in any capacity. All right. Anyway, so the two important components here are the values of h, and my highlighter's not working, there it is, and k. Okay, if you remember from transformations of parabolas back in algebra, h is actually your horizontal shift, and k is known as your vertical shift. And I know we've seen k before in transformations and translations in the previous unit, but that was for scale factor. When we're moving the graph, k is for vertical shifts only, okay? R we are familiar with as our radius, so let's just fill in those pieces of information. Where h, comma k is the center, and r is the radius of the circle of the equation, okay? So hk is basically your x, y coordinate of the center of your circle. Now, other thing I want you to be very, very, very careful of is that x minus h, this minus h, is really important, because if it's written like this, h actually has a positive value. If it's written x plus h, h is going to have a negative value, and you'll see that in practice. Same thing goes for k. Let's look at what that looks like with question number 1. So remember, the equation is supposed to be x minus h squared, right? But instead here we have x plus 4. So the signs are not the same, which means that this value actually should be negative. H is actually negative 4. And y, nothing changed here, it's still negative. Sorry, not y. K is actually going to be positive 2. And the radius is not 25 because this was already squared. What is the opposite of a squared? It is the square root. So the square root of 25 is 5. Having these three components then allows me to go ahead and graph this. Remember, hk is that coordinate. So this is going to be the center at negative 4, 2. Let's find negative 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. That's my center. And my radius is 5, which means in order to find the edge of my circle, all I need to do is count up, down, left, and right 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then as best as you can, go ahead and draw yourself a circle that encompasses all 4 points. Mine obviously does not look like a perfect circle. If you want one of those circle drawing tools, please ask me for it. I can provide it. However, I'm not being a stickler for perfect circles, so just do your best. Okay, so let's write our answers down here. Negative 4, comma 2 is the center, and radius was, not 2, it was 5. Okay, let's do the next one. So again, we're following the same type of format from the equation. This time we have x minus h, which means h is going to be positive 7. Notice that there's nothing written next to the y squared, which means in essence, we are just putting 0, right? So k equals 0. Radius is the square root of this number, which means it is 2. Okay, so my center is going to be at 7, 0, and my radius is going to be 2. Let's go ahead and plot that. So 7 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 up, 2 right, 2 down, 2 left. That was my radius. And then I just connect them into a circle. So the reason I said this is really important for your ACTs and SATs is because sometimes they will literally just give you problems that look like this and then give you options for what is the center and radius of this circle, and they'll try to trick you. So they're just figuring out if you know the components of standard form. Okay, looking at number 3. Very straightforward one. Here we have h as +3 and k as, yes, -1 if you said that. And then radius here, square root of 49 is 7, meaning that my center is 3, -1, and my radius is 7. Let's go ahead and plot that. Excuse me, so we have 3, 1, 2, 3, -1, and my radius is 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And last but not least, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then again, best you can, nice circle around. That's, okay, well, it's good enough. Okay, and then last one, again, we want to determine h and k. This is x plus 6, so h is going to be -6. K, y is +5, so this is going to be -5. And then radius, the square root of 16, is 4. So my center is -6, -5, radius at 4. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And radius is 4. Here, 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 and here. Okay. There we go. Nice and simple, easy peasy. So make sure that you have completed notes here for referencing for your test, because I do believe I changed Unit 8 for everybody to have their notes. And if you don't have good notes, then I'm sorry. Pray to God. Okay. Let's look at the next section here. So this video is going to end right before general form equation because that is its own beast. It's a very friendly beast. It's not very hard, but it seems intimidating. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and do the odds for 5 through 11, and then you guys will fill in the evens for that one. So this time they gave us the equation and no graph. So all I really need to do is find my components of h, k, and r. Okay, well, h is here. This is negative, so it's -5, so h is a +5. I have -1, so k is +1. And r is going to be the square root of that value, which is 8. So my center is at 5, 1 with a radius of 8. Okay, now next question in the odds is very interesting because now they're asking us for the diameter. That's not too much trickier because I know the relationship between a radius and diameter, right? To find diameter, I just double the radius. So as long as I have a calculator, I can figure this out. So again, h, k, and r. So x squared doesn't have any number next to it, which means h is 0. K has +10, which means k is -10. And radius is going to be square root of 42.25. Don't be intimidated by that. That's okay. Your calculator, let's do this one together. So square root of 42.25, I get 6.5, and that's fine. So my center is 0, -10, and my diameter is just double my radius, right? So 6.5 times 2 is 13. And that's my answer. Okay, this time they shifted from diameter and they said, okay, give me the circumference. And that's fine too. I know the formula for circumference, so I can do that. I'm just going to write it on the side as reference. Circumference is either 2 pi r or it's diameter times pi. I'm probably going to use this one because radius is easy to figure out. So h, k, and r, and then the circumference that'll come from that. So h is plus 2, which means that's going to be negative 2 for h. Then I have y is plus 9, so k is going to be negative 9. Radius is going to be the square root of 196, which is 14. Once I plug that into my formula, I'm going to have 28 pi. And I actually do want you to just leave it as 28 pi. You do not have to multiply that with pi. If you want to, you can. It's not necessary because pi is a number. This is the most specific answer you can give me. So the center is negative 2, negative 9, and my circumference is 28 pi. And if you are very curious as to what that is in terms of a number, that would be about 87.96. Okay, or fully rounded to 88. All right, and then last but not least, we have 11, and here, again, they switched it up on me. They're saying we want the area this time, and again, that's all right, because I know the formula for area is pi r squared. As long as I can find r, I can find area. So h, k, and r, and then I'll leave space for area. So I have x minus 3, which means h is positive 3. Y plus 4, which means k is negative 4. Square root of 81 is 9. I go ahead and plug that in. And again, you can leave the pi as is. 9 squared is 81, so area is 81 pi. Let's answer this question. Center is 3, negative 4, and area is 81 pi. Or if you're really attached to decimals, it's going to be 254.5. All right, so make sure you do the evens yourselves and check them with the answer key. And then I'm going to pick up right here in the next video. I'll see you when I see you. Bye.